Good evening, all. Ira Epstein, and here we are with your metal market wrap-up. And this wrap-up is for the evening, as we're here now on Monday, April 3rd, 2023. It's about 6:10 p.m. Central Time. Do remember that Friday's Good Friday, so we have a different type of trading day. We'll talk about that as the week goes on, the hours and what you have to deal with on that. But right now, what we're really dealing with is getting a series of economic reports that we weren't expecting. One of them came from OPEC, where they cut over the weekend almost 1.6 million barrels of oil a day in theory. That's when you add up Russia extending its production cuts and more OPEC members pledging that they're going to cut production as well. The one thing we know about OPEC members, they say one thing, they do a different thing. It starts not with Saudis. If they say they're going to cut X amount, they typically do. But the fringe producers, they're a whole different world. They watch what their neighbors do, and OPEC, they do it, and then they go, maybe I can keep producing a little bit more here. I can make more money, and blah, blah. That's the real world. So what will that 1.6 headline be? Probably anywhere between a half to maybe 1 million barrels a day is my own personal guess. We'll see. I'm just doing this based on what history has shown, and that's where we're at. Regardless, it tightens up the oil market, and that shores things up. You're back up to the 80 level. You do realize that the Biden administration had the chance to buy crude $15 a barrel lower just over, 8-9 days ago? They didn't buy any. And I'm so happy. I applaud Joe Weisenthal at Bloomberg. He picked up on the story. I've been talking about it for a week. He wrote about it today in detail. Thank you. Makes me look credible. Very good. All right. Said the same thing I did, basically. All right. And talking about how inept they are at what they do. And I'm talking the Biden administration. There is no game plan. When you look at the energy markets, we had manufacturing numbers come out in their week. I'll talk about that in much more detail in my financial markets and in the SPDR ETF. So let's go right here. In the gold and silver, you're back to the 2000 level. That's important. We were just sitting here in the 1980s. We've come back up. The dollar got hit today pretty hard. It tried to rally at first on the energy news, and it gave that up. As you can see, most of the currencies are up against the dollar. When you and I look at the gold market here, the market is staying over the 18-week moving average of closes. That gives the market a bullish bias. We had that one break right into it, as I pointed out, as it was occurring, and you bounced sharply away. That happened as the market came into that 1810, 1815 area. By the way, before I get too far, as we're talking gold, you got to keep in the back of your mind, it's going to be looking at the dollar. I did a special report, and my currency reports, in fact, all my special video reports are only up on our website 3 days. That's my choice. This isn't about a history lesson. It pertains to right now. So I will cover for you the seasonals, basis to more research studies, price counts versus our own, ways of measuring where a market might go. Then I'm going to give you in the futures markets, the weekly, the dailies. And for those of you that watch and like to trade in the SPDRs, we covered that too. So that is done for you in the dollar index there as well. How do you get the report? You can just click up here at any time during the meeting here as we're going. Or what you can do is you can also go www.iraepstein.com, look on the word research at the top, give it a click, and you'll see special currency report, okay? All right. That's important. I'm not going to advertise this every day. It's up only 3 days. As I said, today's day 1, so you got 2 more days. When you take a look, you can see the sideways action that's going on in the gold. The pattern is one of a higher high, lower low. So the market, is it setting up here in a traditional uptrend? No. Traditional uptrends would have higher lows, higher highs. You're not getting that. What you are getting is a market that even on the daily charts, look at how you come back to that 18-day average. I teach this in my full charting course, the importance of the 18-day average of closes. You went back. Now, if you can clear 2005.50 and close over that number, then you got something else that can happen, and you might make a run at the upper Bollinger Band at 2038. That's where it's at right now. That could happen if that market wants to spur itself there. Otherwise, you can see the support, 1971.90. And what I don't like is that we're staying overbought. This market is not trying to embed. Markets that don't embed and get overbought, what happens? If they're not going to embed, they typically correct to the downside. So fair caution warning on that. In the silver market, silver's going to lose a little bit to gold, but why not? It's come from basically near 92 ounces that you had to put up for silver to get 1 ounce of gold to just shy of the 82, and you're back to 83. A bounce, not a problem, not a trend change. As long as you keep the embedded reading, and this is the powerhouse of that. Momentum, what I love so much more about slow stochastics than RSI or MACD studies is that it has a personality. It gets overbought, it gets oversold, it locks in a trend, and it tells you if that trend is getting even stronger as it locks in. The traditional person says, oh, that thing's overbought, it's going to back off, and Ira teaches you that's not what it's saying. What it's saying is on the breaks, the market is still getting bought, looking for higher highs until the red line closes under 79. My numbers will be a bit different than yours at home. My subscribers get my formula to modify. It's very easy. Your charting service can do it. I'm sure of that. In the copper market, you have here a higher high, lower low, sideways action. This market's been counting and has gotten a nice rally off the fact that China's business is expanding. We're through with the lunar holiday. We're through with the COVID situation, as bad as it was. But it's drifting now. And like the gold market, it's an overbought market that is not embedding. That's a problem for the market. Markets either embed, or I've learned over my career, they like to pull back and get a correction where they're no longer embedded and then start anew. In the platinum market, we have a lower low, higher high. I think the pros came out of longs. Why? Take a look at the green line. That's your 100-day average. Each time we've gotten up there recently, the market has been met by impressive selling and dropped back down easily towards that 18-day average. You're overbought. You just did it. If it goes, terrific. I'm not saying to go short. I'm saying it's time to be out of longs up there. In the palladium market, what can I tell you? You got up to the exact numbers you had to on Thursday and Friday. We mentioned back here that when the market on this day crossed and got over that, the game was on to get up towards either a main moving average, and they're way up here, so that didn't make sense, or the Bollinger Band. It's exactly what it did. Ran into the brick wall, but it's still in a bullish configuration. I contend the pros are buying at 1432, stops under that low, and they'll see if they can get another run at it to the upside. And the dollar index, I'm telling you, that dollar index report I did is very important. Are we going to embed here into bearishness? Well, as you can see on the close today, both numbers were under the 20 level. You have to have at least 3 days in a row to embed. So let's see if this will let me come back on it. I don't know if it will or won't. It's not going to let me. I see what it did. I'm sorry about that. Tomorrow is crucial in this market, and I will do my best to explain this in the next video that I have up. I'll do it after this one. I have to reset this computer to get that all going. But I do appreciate you watching me. If you like what you see, please give a thumbs up on it. Remember the the dollar report. Just move your cursor up here. I said metal because I'm doing the metals right through here. I'm Ira Epstein. Take care.